In this video, I shared an interesting secret on how you can achieve your desired neck depth when making a cross V neckline or a wrap top. You can see that in this cross V wrap top, I have my desired neck depth and I wouldn't need a singlet or an inner wear just to cover my chest. So if you're interested in this, kindly continue watching as we get straight to the video. Greetings and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm working with a crepe fabric and I'm going to place this on fold on the by 60 part, and first I'll be marking the waist belt, which I use 4.5 inches as the width. So I'll cut this out and I'm going to be cutting a second piece of the belt so that I will have two pieces for the belt. So next I'm going to go ahead to measure my half length, which is the full length of the blouse. My half length is 18 and I'll be adding 2 inches for my fold up at the down. So I'll go ahead to cut this out like this. So next I'm going to get a width that is wide enough for my bust measurement, which is the biggest part of my body, plus my sewing allowance on fold like this, and I'm going to cut this out, and this will be for the back. I measure my measurement. I'm going to mark out my armhole curve. There's a video on how to do that, so I'll just go ahead to flip this so it will be on my right side. For the neck width of the back, I use 3 inches wide and 1 inch deep. I'm going to go ahead to connect this like this. I'll slant the shoulder by half of an inch. For the back bust, after dividing your bust measurement by 4, reduce it by 1 and add your sewing allowance. We'll be replacing this later on in the video and I'll be explaining why. Then I'll go to the waist, mark out my fold up allowance, which is 2 inches, place it on fold, and I'm going to pin it up. Then I'll go ahead to mark my waist measurement divided by 4, 1 inch for that intake and 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. I'll go ahead to connect this to the bust point and I'm going to go ahead to cut this out. So next I'll place the other fabric on fold and I'm going to mark my bust span measurement divided by 2 plus 1 inch, and I'm going to mark it all the way to the down, and I'll use a straight line to connect these marked points together. Take the back part and I'll place it on this line because this line we just marked is for the front overlap. So I'll unpin my fold up at the down, ensure the back is starting immediately on that line. So for the front bust part, you are going to be replacing that 1 inch you took at the back. This is to make sure that the front has enough fabric so that you will not have any form of revealness if you do not want it to be revealed. Alright, so replace it only at the bust and connect it to the waist. That's the only place you replace. So I'll go ahead to cut this out following the shape of the back part. The only place I replaced is the bust. So I'll go ahead to notch my fold up allowance at the down and I'm going to place this on fold like this. Now you should place this on fold so that you will know how you slant your line from the neckline. Your slant should be stopping on this point. Okay, so next I'm going to push the back like this so that I will start connecting from the neck width. I'll just mark a slanted line to that point. Now I am okay with the neck depth, but I am not okay with the neck width. But please, if this neck depth is not okay for you, you can go ahead to make it as deep as you want. But for the width, I will just use my curve rule to make it as wide as I want. So I'll make it wider, but still ensure that as you make it wide, it still falls into that slanted line that you made. Okay, so make sure it still falls into that slanted line. So I'll go ahead to cut this out. Next, I'm going to unpin my fold up at the down and I'm going to open it up. Now there's one more step left if you would not want the chest to be gapping, and that will be shown when we are sewing the dress together. I went ahead to sew the belt on fold and I'm going to be turning it to the right side like this. So for the back part, I'm going to be turning the neck. For the down part, I'll give it a tiny fold like this to the wrong side, which I've just done. Next, I'm going to place my turn up on fold. I'm going to pin it up like this, place the total dress on fold, mark my bust span measurement divided by 2 plus half of an inch, and I'm going to mark 6 inches as my dart height. This is for my dart line. I'll mark the same thing on the second side, and I went ahead to fix my dart on the mark point using 1 inch dart intake. I'll go ahead to turn the neckline on the back part. For the front part, I'm going to turn the neckline of the front part. I'm going to give the down part a tiny fold. So I have gone ahead to turn the neckline. I piped it using my fabric. You can use bias. there's a video on how to pipe like this on the channel. So next, I am going to take the belt that I have sewn. I have top stitched it. I'm going to start sewing from the very tip of the neckline like this. I'm going to sew it straight down like this. So here, after you have sewn this straight down like this, you are going to take the down part and you're going to flip it on it like this, and you're going to top stitch it. So this is it. You flip it to the right side and it will be giving you a neat finish. So next, I'll mark out my dart line and I'm going to insert my dart, which I have just done using 1 inch. I'll repeat the same thing for the other front part. I'm going to go ahead to reduce the shoulder by 1 inch. This is to reduce any further gapping. So do this to avoid any further gapping. Whatever you cut out on one neckline, place it on the other neckline and cut it out. I tell you, if you apply this method, your cross V neckline will not gap ever. So I'll go ahead to join the sides together. Now, because the front and the back is not equal, I'm going to be shaping the side, taking away my sewing allowance I added. So I've gone ahead to shape the side. I've also joined the shoulders together. On the side, I simply gave an opening. I left an opening at it as wide as the waist belt so that it can pass when I am wearing this. You can go ahead to fix your desired sleeve, but I'll be uploading the video on how to cut a cap sleeve in my next upload. Thanks for watching.